couple days went by with no sign of Travis or the girls, so officers went and they talked to Travis's boss. He said that Travis was supposed to work that day, which was actually on June 2nd, but that he had not shown up to work. His boss also mentioned that Travis had been having some mental health issues lately. This is when law enforcement went and got an arrest warrant for Travis for custodial interference, and they continued to try to find him. Word about the girl's disappearance was making national news by this point. This is when Travis's truck was finally found in the area of Rock Island Campground in Leavenworth, Washington. About 75 to 100 yards from where Travis's truck was found, they found the girls. They were found down a small embankment, and all three had passed away. The medical examiner confirmed that the girls had passed from expiration and that their hands had been zip-tied together at some point. The tailgate of Travis's truck appeared to have 2 red bodily fluid handprints on it. The red bodily fluid was tested, and it came back positive for belonging to a male, while another sample was not from a human. As the officers continued to look around, they also found an abandoned camp just a short distance away from the truck that appeared to have sign of recent activity. This is when the manhunt for Travis just really amped up. So this is what we know so far from allegedly the ex-wife named Whitney. Even though their marriage didn't work out, when it came to them like co-parenting, everything seemed to have gone smoothly. They were married for years. Together, they had 3 daughters. He was in the military for years. He went into the National Guard, but then has had like a disciplinary action against him that is getting ready to release him because he just quit showing up about a year ago to his monthly duties with the National Guard. Then from there, he's lost his home, his wife, a lot of the visitation with his daughters, although it sounds like she was doing everything she could to keep the daughters in his life, and now his dog. So now he's homeless. According to him, he's lost his dog, but all he's got left is his daughters. With all of that being said, Whitney says that everything seemed mostly normal during her last interaction with Travis, which was on May 30th of this year, 2025. On that day, Travis picked up the girls for visitation at around 5 p.m. She said that Travis seemed a bit quieter than usual, but she just chucked it up to that, all the things that he had been going through lately. But when 8 p.m. passed, because remember, he was supposed to have them home at 8 p.m., and Travis had not brought the girls home, this is when Whitney began to worry. Travis had never, even with all of that going on, according to his ex-wife Whitney, he had never not brought the girls home from visitation on time. So this was totally out of the ordinary for him. So she ended up trying to call Travis. She called him again and again and again, but it kept going straight to voicemail. At 9:30 p.m., Whitney ended up going to the local police station to file a report. And she said that she had no idea even where to start looking for Travis and the girls because Travis did not have a home and she wasn't exactly sure which hotel or campground that he had been staying at recently. So the officers tried calling Travis as well. And again, he did not answer. So then they looked him up in the system, and this is when they found out what kind of truck that he drove, which was a white 2017 GMC Sierra. They even found records that Travis had been involved in 2 collisions recently, one just 3 days prior to him picking up the girls on May 27th, and then one on May 4th. Now imagine this as the mother, You haven't found him. He's not answering the phone. It's going straight to voicemail. The police is looking him up in the system. They're like, wait a minute. He was in a collision 3 days before he picked the girls up. And then just a few weeks before that, her head had to be spinning at that point because what could have happened and what was he going through to be getting in these accidents along with everything else that he had been going through. Now, he did receive some citations for the accident on May 27th, but so far that was it. Now, after finding these records, the officers then ran Travis's vehicle information through their license plate reader software that led them to believe that he might have been heading to a hotel or a campground in the North End. So the officers began canvassing all of the local hotels and campgrounds. However, they had no luck. They searched everywhere that they possibly could find. They found no trace of Travis or the girls. The next day, the officers went to Whitney's home to speak with her again. When the officers got there, this is when they began to ask Whitney more questions about Travis and their relationship. This is when Whitney told them that there had never really been anything physical, but that Travis did have moments of power or control that he used. She said that Travis was actually diagnosed with borderline personality disorder towards the end of their marriage, and she also believed that he had not been taking any medication for it, and it was also reported that Travis was diagnosed with PTSD. She also said that Travis had recently told her that he had to give up his dog due to his housing and his financial concerns. Now, Travis didn't have a steady paycheck and he had unpaid child support. And according to Whitney, their daughters and his dog were the two big positives in his life. So I can only imagine how heavy of a weight all of this was on Travis. When the officers looked further into Whitney and Travis's parenting plan paperwork, the plan noted details about access to the girls and ability to talk with them via cell phone when needed. Meaning, the way that I took that seemed like even though he wouldn't be able to be around the girls every single day, he needed to be able to have access to call them anytime he needed, which obviously, in my opinion, seems fair. Whitney said that they both agreed to this plan, but the officers noticed that the signature line states that Travis refused to sign it. Whitney also told the officers that when overnight camping trips had been allowed in the past, they were always pre-planned in advance with clear details of the plans. She said that when they left home this time, they only had the clothes on their back, like they were supposed to be back at 8 p.m. that evening. The officer also found out that the girls had an event planned at a local park that morning and they never showed up for it. And of course, everyone's concerns were quickly growing that something terrible may have happened. Officials have said that because of Travis's military experience, that he has a training in navigation, survival, and other survival skills. And it has been reported that Travis once spent more than 2 months living in the backwoods off-grid. Investigators have released pictures and videos taken of Travis in the days leading up to May 30th. And as of June 10th, the sheriff's office said that they believe they are on Travis's trail. They said that they tracked a subject believed to be Travis into the Blewett Pass Highway 97 area. They asked the public, especially those who live or have cabins in that area, to remain highly vigilant and to report any suspicious activity. So it seems that Travis actually may still be alive and could be very close to getting caught. I believed up until that part that he may have ended it somewhere and they just had not found him yet. But because of the investigators believing that they could have seen him and they're still tracking him, seems like he could still be alive out there. Just trying to wrap my mind around this whole situation. The mother sounds like she did everything right. You know, she was trying to keep the daughters in their father's life for their benefit because they love spending time with their father, as well as for his. You know, give him some hope, something to get better for, and not strip everything from him and let him have those hours. And up until that point, allegedly, according to Whitney, the mother, he never even brought them home late. He brought them home on time every time. And there's no way that she could have known that this would happen. Has he had some mental break? Did the PTSD on top of everything else? Has he snapped? I do hope that they find Travis, and I hope that some way, somehow, this mother can have some peace. I'm going to be praying for her. Absolutely heartbreaking.